welcome to the Now Time Empaths book tour series. I am the AliNICOLE Wow, and I am an Empathic-preneur Empire Advisor. I'm really grateful to have Empathic Genuine Power Enhancer Gina Gardiner and Empathic Power Awakener Brenda Jacobson collaborating with me in this initiative. The core theme for this call is it's time to harness new levels of your empathic power now. And what we're going to be doing is featuring our publications on this particular topic and having an empowering discussion about the importance of focusing on the new levels of power in the now, which is very important. And all of the publications that are going to be mentioned are available on Amazon, but there will be links in the description box below, along with additional information about each of us. So I just want to give a warm welcome to Gina and Brenda. Thank you.
Thanks very much for having us on the show. Really, really pleased to be here.
Well, it's our tour. Yes, I'm glad that we all are together. It's, always a pleasure to be collaborating with you all, especially about, these important topics and the great works that, we put together and just everything. So it's just phenomenal. So let's sort of jump right into talking about harnessing new levels of empathic power, and especially in the now, and why focusing on new power is vital, during this time. I really love focusing on the power of the present moment. This was something, my first career and life coach many, many years ago, Virginia, Jenny Kravitz, taught me about really the power of the present moment is something I just used, throughout my journey. And it's helped me tremendously, and especially as an empath. Because what we know is that the power indeed is in the now. It's where everything, is happening, and the greater potential, resides within the present moment. And for empaths particularly, it is very important to be present, in the now, and really consistently ground newness moment to moment. And what I believe is harnessing the combination of new levels of power and new potential is what's going to be continuously required, not only for empaths to live their best life, but also to fulfill their greater purpose. So I certainly would love to hear, from both of you, about this area. So Gina, I'd like to start with you, if that's okay.
Yes, certainly. Sorry, there was an interruption in the, briefly over the internet.
No, you're good. What I would love to hear you do is, of course, share your thoughts, and then you can go right into your featured publications and then share a little bit about the core objectives of those works. And then Brenda, you can follow the same protocol after Gina.
Okay. I believe that empaths have a hugely important role to play as we move forward into the new era of consciousness. But I also recognize that time is of the essence. And it's one of those phrases that we often use, but it becomes almost devalued. But I do believe that there's a portal, a window of time for empaths to recognize their true value and to get rid of anything that is keeping them playing small, because their purpose is just so important. And in order to harness their true power, their genuine power as an empath, there are so many old habitual ways of being that are less than helpful, that when they are dealt with, it opens the door of possibilities to empaths hugely. And so I created the first of my empath series, which is Harnessing Your Power of Being an Empath. And what it does is it shares with the reader all of the patterns that I've come across through working with empaths over years, and gives them an opportunity to recognize those patterns and some strategies to deal with those patterns, because those patterns keep you playing small. They keep you within your comfort zone, and that not only delays your development, but you just think about all the people that you were going to help and you're not there to help them. And so it's absolutely vital that if you're an empath and you have a sense of purpose, and I've yet to meet an empath who hasn't, but that you recognize that the common denominator in every moment of your life is you, and it's you who's got to do the inner work. Nobody can do it for you. And that the book is designed to help you take yourself from where you are, to recognize the patterns that are holding you back, and to take control of your life, and to harness that intrinsic power that's available to you if you get out of your own way. And so if you're just recognizing you're an empath, or you are already an empath, but you know that there are certain things that keep you playing small and not wanting to charge, the feeling that you don't have enough worth to charge your value, those sort of things, there are so many patterns and we haven't got time to talk about them now. Harnessing your power as an empath is designed to help you sort those out.
Perfect. And then you have another one, the stepping.
Well, I have a series actually. And so when you have started to deal with those issues, then it's taking you to stepping into your genuine power as an empath. And it takes you on the next stage of the journey. So yes, people will still there'll be, I suspect, a residual patterning of things that are still keeping you, but it's actually helping you move forward. And there's helps you audit where you are now and look at those areas where there's sticking points and helps you deal with those. And there's a 30-day challenge.
30-day challenge. Let me pause you real quick. Yeah, because we're going to talk about your other one in our next, call. But I wanted to address something, really quick about those two, because those are the two we're focusing on in this particular, in this particular call here. The combination of both of those it's really needed. I just want to say this to the empaths, especially around what Gina was mentioning about, you having this sense of purpose. And she's right. There's not an empath in existence that does not have a deeper sense of purpose and calling. But the recognition of that is important. And what I know to be true about these particular publications of hers is they are really going to help you not just discover the purpose of why you're here in a sense, but it is helping you to integrate a newer way of being as an empath. And that's the thing that we want to focus on in the harnessing of the power and being this now time, because it really doesn't matter what empaths have been labeled as, previously. It is about the new empathic experience, and that's what we're bringing forth. And so I wanted to just emphasize this about those two publications, is that she's right. They help you to step into these different levels and just buckle up, because throughout this series, there's more to come, that she has. But okay, well, before we go on to Brenda, did you want to say anything else? I just felt the need to plug in real quick and just emphasize, those two publications. They definitely will help.
Oh, thank you.
That power for sure.
Just two things I'd like to say. One is that there are many powerful empaths who have been successful. But I would say to you, if you're listening to this, you ain't seen nothing yet. You are capable of so much more. And particularly the stepping into your genuine power, the second one, the 30-day intensive boot camp, is designed to really move you on and to help you recognize that even though you're doing great things, there is the capacity for so much more.
Yes.
And the second is that you may not recognize yourself as an empath because they come in all shapes and sizes. You don't, many people will have a very set view of what an empath is. But if you are someone who tunes into other people, that you've got a sense of something that is bigger than yourself, then it's worth exploring these books. And through that, you'll discover you are indeed an empath. Don't delay. time is ticking away. Thank you very much, AliNICOLE.
It's true. Yes. Thank you. That was great. I just love, the way you broke that down to help them understand, because that's what we want to do is, give an overview of the publications and everything. I co-sign with you 1,000% that the time is now. It's vital to really step into this place and to ground the energy. And so on that note of grounding, I think it's a great opportunity for Brenda, for sure, to bring some awakening energy into that grounding effect. So definitely love to hear, what you have to say, and then also your work in this particular area for the harnessing the power.
Thank you, Gina. Every point you made was just incredible, and I'm gonna piggyback off of those. Yes. One thing that I would say is, in this changing energy, there is so many more people are going to become empathic. There's even the average person that has not been sensitive to those energies will find themselves growing into that. And what we need to help shepherd those people into this new world are the trailbreakers, the ones that will cut the swath through all of this. And that's where the empaths that know that they're empaths or know that they're highly sensitive, that's where they need to show up, and they really need to step up in order to help the entire world evolve into that new energy. The work where I really focus is on the energy body and the chakra system, and it is such a powerful tool. But like anything, you can't harness the power of anything of this tool if you don't understand what it is that you're working with and how to work with. So just understanding the basics of that chakra system, clearing up the energetic debris that is clogging the way. So many of the empaths that I work with have got, they're bogged down by fear, by guilt, by shame, that all comes from the past. And as much as we'd like to just pretend that doesn't exist, it does. It's tangible within our energy body, and it creates obstacles for us to move into that new energy. So that I've got the harnessing, the basics of harnessing the chakra power, which works through the entire system. But also in there's a book for each one of the 7 chakras. So it's actually a series of 8 books. Each one goes a deep dive into each of those chakras, so you can really empower each of those chakras and set yourself up beautifully to move forward into this new energy. Each one of them is about a 30-day exercise that just helps you really solidify each chakra in turn, because the chakra system actually builds on what we call the ladder of 7. So you have to have that solid ground, as you mentioned, AliNICOLE, that solid ground in the first chakra before you can build 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th on it. Right. And that's what the first book, The Basics of Harnessing It, just helps you clear out that surface level debris from each of those, and really starts to work on both not just the emotional debris, but the mindset part of it, that helps you to really step into that power and embrace who you came here to be.
Yes.
So I'm excited to get working through that with people.
Oh, definitely. And I love everything that you shared. And indeed, the energy body, which, one of the things I focus on too, and some of our larger emerging works, around that is on the new empathic, energy body. And so being able to have those basic understandings and then working through those different levels, like you were saying, it's going to be important, because like anything, nothing is just a one and done. We don't, just clear that out and then because it just keeps on building and we keep on evolving and expanding. So these works that you have are, yes, extremely important because honestly, without having those, the chakra system in place, the energy body, solidified for achieving wholeness, anything else that we try to build upon or integrate really is not going to, just not going to have that foundation to, to be successful. So I'm excited, and we'll have all of the links, of course, to your series within the description box. So yay, I'm excited. Before I share mine, did anyone have anything else? Gina, I am actually going to have you to actually close us out after I finish, with some final words, and after I finish with mine. But if not, I can go ahead and share.
Just to say, I've read Brenda's books, and they are so rich. And worked with Brenda around clearing my own debris, and I can really recommend them. So they're very accessible, and give you a really great route map in terms of how you can move forward with them.
Yes, and meditative too. That's the great thing.
Yes.
She's excellent with the guidance of that, and also giving people the opportunity to DIY in a sense, in the meditation format, for themselves. So yes, such a unique experience. Just the combination of all of the publications that are going to be shared or have been shared so far are just phenomenal. What I have to definitely say, and it's not because I'm biased, that your publications, Gina, and Brenda's publications are, they're solid. They are the very foundational premise that empaths need, especially becoming new empaths, because it requires a new empath for this new world. And that's why we are focused on the now time, which is representing that new energy. So yay, excited. So I'm going to quickly share a few works of mine, around the power, because that's what we've been talking about, is really just harnessing the power, and not just the power, but really stepping into the next level. And that's why you can see that each of us have series or different works that keep taking in empaths, to the next level. I was going to say individuals, but they could take individuals too, because just as Brenda mentioned, is that in this new evolution, most are going to find that they are going to become very empathic. It is just the new way of being. And that's why it's important that empaths, particularly who know they're empaths, step up in this time and create this gateway, this sacred space for setting this new emergence of what's coming in, because it's going to be required. So I want to share two of my works for this empowerment energy. And one is called The Power of Me. It is the rise of an empowered empathic phoenix leader-preneur. And it's actually a creation journal planner. And this particular publication, it provides an empowering introduction. There are reflection questions, and then also there's a journal creation planner section. Is pretty extensive. And that section is provided for allowing empaths to start designing these new levels of their empathic success. And it is coming from that place of their true power. And so being able to ground yourself in the power of the new you energy, and that is, the power of me, which is mastered energy, is important, for empaths. And then I have another resource, and this one, Queen Gina also collabed with me on this particular one. And it is harnessing your empathic, profitable phoenixpreneur power. And it is rising in new levels of your entrepreneurial empowerment and profit potential for high-end success. It's actually a customized mini course creation planner. And that particular resource, it really provides the experience for empathic-preneurs to start creating their own way, because there are times where empaths kind of need to do their own self-study and be in the flow of creativity to design kind of their own unique experience. And so this one allows them to customize and create their own mini course so that it can support them in the best aligned ways as they start rising into this new level of profitability as a phoenix, preneur, because that's important. So yeah, it's all about the leveling up. It also has video links that are in there that they can watch and be empowered, by those, and it will help them to start really planning, their own mini course. And then, of course, the profits planning. So definitely wanted to share those. So before we get ready to close out, I just want to express my deep appreciation for Gina and Brenda, and for the wonderful works that they do, and also too, just their commitment and dedication to the empathic community, and understanding how important it is for empaths to really emerge into this new energy, to this new expression, and to be the lights and the symbols of empowerment, and the sources of really a new holistic profitable experience, and that all comes within this power and this potential for the next level. And so I could go on, trust me, about these two. But we have other calls that we're going to be doing, in this book tour series. So I would just like to invite Gina right now, if you would like to close us out, or Brenda, if you had any final words before she ends our call.
I do not. Just very excited to be launching this with you ladies and making this available to people. There's not a lot of tools out there for people to step into this new energy.
You're right.
I knew that there's just not a lot. There's no experts out there. People
No.
need a lot of guidance to step into this, a lot of encouragement to just step into their own power. So
you're right. You know what? I want to say this before Gina closes us out, because that was very important. There are, as we know, there are tons of experts, so to speak, that teach about the empathic experience, but the new empathic experience, you are right, that there's not, because of what it's going to take to get into what I teach about the new, empathic encoding. And a lot of the teachings that are out there are ones that definitely are helping empaths to be more empowered, and some even to be more accelerated, but actually not preparing them for the new world experience according to their unique encoding. It's just everything's kind of just recycled and dumped into one collective soup. And but each empath is going to awaken to their own unique encoding. So that was very profound in terms of you bringing that forward, so that I could piggyback off of that. Thank you. All right, Queen Gina.
I'd like to say thank you to all of you. I mean, AliNICOLE is my mentor, and I've learned a huge amount. But one of the things that I think that all of us, Brenda, I've worked with Brenda, they are amazing ladies. But what I recognize is that if you're listening to this, you have been drawn to this for a reason. And the awareness is just one step. But awareness in and of itself does nothing. We need people to step up. We need people to engage and embrace the opportunity in order to be ready to help others on a grand scale. And the publications have been designed quite specifically to work together. They're not in competition with one another. They are all doing somewhat different things. And you don't have to just do one and then do another and then do another. I had a lovely phone call from a client that's doing two at once. These work in tandem, and they provide you collectively with a really comprehensive opportunity to develop and grow and accelerate that growth, so you're not left behind and so you are ready. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, ladies, but also you watching this. Recognize that it's up to you whether you step into your genuine power or not. If you don't, well, then so many things that could happen are going to be held back. But I am hopeful that because you are here and don't believe in coincidence, that you will embrace the opportunity and harness the power. Join us in the next video. We're going to be sharing some other things with you, but in the meantime, just recognize that you are an incredible, powerful person if you choose to step into that power. Thanks very much. Bye-bye now.